Let me start today's video report by stating the obvious. Losing sucks. I've lost 5 straight days. Oh my God, you tuned into a video report where the guy's talking about losing. Well, guess what, guys? That's reality. And I've told you many, many times that if you're new to gambling, accept this fact of life. You're going to win, and sometimes you're going to lose. And sometimes you're going to lose for an extended period. And sometimes it'll seem that you're never going to win again. And that's really the fact of life. It's why I get on here and I always tell you that I don't celebrate the wins, nor do I lament the losses. Because the key to gambling is to be able to accept the fact before you place that first wager that sometimes you're going to lose for extended periods, and to be able to deal with that losing in advance. To acknowledge that it's going to happen, because when it does, it doesn't whack you over the side of the head, that you're able to accept it, continue, and maintain that even keel. I cannot tell you how many handicappers I've run into over the past 20 years in this industry who get suicidal. That they're like walking the plank, they're on the ledge, that they need their lithium and their Prozac increased after losing big plays or multiple days. They just can't handle it. True story. So let's see, my son's 24 years old. So right after he was born, I had my nationwide radio show. I had a tip sheet that I was doing. I had a job, but my livelihood depended literally on winning, delivering for my customer base. Because not only did I have a football tip sheet for 6 straight years, but then I had a telephone service that I took those customers, I gave them my daily basketball picks and then my baseball picks. And I did that for 6 straight years because my wife wasn't working anymore. That's how I survived. And it was all about winning. And did I win every day? No. But it was about making those customers happy for those 6 straight years. Going on the radio and, just like here, telling whether I won or lost. And you know what? You had to be able to handle the pressure. And that was my livelihood. That's how I made a living. And it's how I'm making a living all these years later. You got to be able to do it. And I've seen so many wusses in this business who can't do it. Now, I've lost 5 straight days. Over the past 14 months, I've had 5 losing streaks of 3 days or longer. The longest such losing streak in that 14-month period has been 7 days, which speaks volumes to my consistency and my ability to avoid prolonged slumps. And that's really the key. You're going to win, you're going to lose, but you can't keep going like this and then, and you know what happens then when you lose too often. You got to be able to ride out the waves and have confidence that you're going to win. You can't lose and then look at the next day's card and go, oh my God, am I going to win today? Listen, guys, when I pick up the thing and I look at the card, I mean, I know I'm going to win today. That's just how I look at the card. I just always feel I'm going to win. I may not win. And I certainly didn't yesterday with SMU. And how the hell that undefeated team found themselves laying 13 points down 21-0 against Tulsa when you're playing at home and you're undefeated and you're ranked for the first time in 1,013 years is beyond me. But it happens. And by the way, I have to be honest with you. For those 3 fans that are SMU backers out there, when you guys fell down 21-0 yesterday, I was hoping Tulsa beat your asses. But instead you rallied in triple overtime and won the game. Shame on you. Because if you're going to screw me out of the money, not that I'm vindictive or anything like that, but I was hoping you're going to lose the game. So anyway, we move forward. It's been a great season in college football on Saturdays for the majority of the handicappers every single Saturday, but yesterday was not one of those days. A lot of the guys had big plays and they lost. It happens. And you move on. Today, if you're looking for somebody who has a big play, Steve Buden's Cali Cartel. Yesterday, they hit 59 winner, number 29 out of 40 on Ohio State. Today, they have their first 100 dime max wager of the entire season in the NFL. They only had one last year, and they hit it. They have their first one going today. You get it for over half price off. The coupon code is over on the homepage. In fact, I can tell you what it is. It's Cali, C-A-L-I. Jay McNeil yesterday had his first 75 dime release of the season. It was on Georgia. He has a 100 dime max wager today. It is on, I don't even remember what the damn game is. You know, I have a pretty good memory for these things, but I don't even remember what is it. Oh, Ravens and Steelers, tough game. I mean, are the Ravens for real today? I'm going to talk about that game in a second. You get it for over half price off by using coupon code EARLY, E-A-R-L-Y. All the other discounts and promos codes are over on the homepage. Let's talk about the games tonight. I'll run them in reverse chronological order. I hit 2 out of 3 yesterday. Cashed in with Ohio State, cashed in with Georgia, lost with Kansas State. How about Kansas State, right? Past 2 weeks, they go to Oklahoma State. They couldn't stop the run. Yesterday, they couldn't stop anything. In Manhattan, Baylor just kicked their ass. Matt Rule's Baylor's now 5-0. How about SMU 6-0, Baylor 5-0? Who would have thunk it, right? So we continue. Kansas City against Indianapolis tonight. Chiefs are 11.5 point favorite here. The thing that has me concerned with the Colts, I probably would have taken the points with the Colts if I knew Marlon Mack, their running back, was 100% healthy. He left last week's game in the second half, the loss to Oakland at home, with a nagging ankle injury. Now, he's been bothered the past couple weeks by a bunch of little injuries. But the way I look at it, for the Colts to have a chance here tonight, they've got to win the time of possession battle. Because the longer you're on the field means the longer that Patrick Mahomes is out there watching you on the Jumbotron, right? And you've got to have a multifaceted offense. You've got to be effective running the ball, which the Colts should be, because the Chiefs have a bottom 5 run defense. They're giving up 6 point yards per carry, which I think is second worst in the league when I looked at the stats this week. And they're giving up like 147 yards a game. And the Colts have a very good veteran offensive line, so they should be able to open home holes. But if Marlon Mack's not at the top of his game, that worries me. Because if their offense gets one-dimensional and everything rides on Jacoby Brissett, well, that's problematic because the Chiefs had a good pass rush the past couple of weeks, I think, with 10 or 11 combined sacks in their last 2 wins. So, and the other thing is the Chiefs have a lot of injuries. I think the Colts do. 2 starting safeties and their all-pro linebacker, Darius Leonard, who, when he's not patrolling the middle of the field, tight ends just will shred the Colts in the seams. Well, you know how the Chiefs have playing tight end, right? Travis Kelce. So that's why I lean toward Kansas City laying the points here at home. And I've been waiting week after week for Kansas City to finally put it all together. Offensively, they've been playing well, but they haven't had that true breakout game, and it could be tonight. The main afternoon games are very hard, the 2 games. How did the NFL schedule makers make it with the buys if there's only 2 games on the afternoon card? On the early day card, I'm going to go with the Eagles. I know they're 1-8 against the spread their last 9 at home, but they've had the 2 extra prep days. I don't know how they won at Green Bay, but they did. I think because of bad play calling by the Packers. But I like Philadelphia in this one because of 2 words, Luke and Falk. The Jets are starting Luke Falk in 6 quarters of play at quarterback. They haven't produced a touchdown with him. I don't think they're going to get one today. I am, however, I'm being serious, I am still somewhat concerned because of the Eagles' injury-riddled secondary and the fact their defensive line has only generated 2 sacks so far on the year. But I'm going to go with the Eagles because this is another team that offensively you saw them starting to gel with a nice mixture of the run and the pass, especially with the run so effectively against Green Bay. And I think that this team could have a breakout performance as well offensively today at home. My favorite play today, however, probably will surprise you. I think Minnesota's a damn cheap price today, minus 5.5 to 6 points, because everybody's down to the Vikings because they've seen what's happened to him lately. But listen, they're 0-2 on the road, but they lost at Green Bay and they lost at Chicago, 2 hard places to play. I know that, Kirk Cousins and his receivers, I think they're going into family therapy later this week. I know that Kirk has to stop apologizing to them, but I think that they've got more than enough talent to win this game. I think that they're going to be able to run the ball effectively, unlike last week, because they're not going against the Bears defense today. And I think this is a bargain basement price because if they had played better last week, they would have been a 9.5 point favorite today instead of 5.5 to 6. Cheap price. Go with Minnesota. So in order, I like Minnesota, Kansas City, and then Philadelphia as your 3 free plays today. I wish you well and talk to you again tomorrow.